thief. The next morning, the sun barely broke through the haze, casting long shadows across the small town road. And right now, it was glowing with a faint, otherworldly light. He just stood there, watching it, as if it held all the answers in the world. Beside him was Harper. Unlike Eddie, her focus wasn't on the strange device. Instead, her head was bowed over a tablet, fingers swiping across the screen, trying to make sense of the weak satellite signals that kept flickering in and out. She was the brains, the navigator, the one who dealt in facts and figures. Eddie was the one who followed the magic. 2. The compass in Eddie's hand pulsed, its light pointing away from the main highway, away from everything they knew. It guided them toward a narrow side road, one that looked like it hadn't seen a car in decades. The asphalt was cracked and overrun with weeds, and the trees that lined it were ancient and gnarled, their branches reaching over the path like skeletal fingers. Forgotten signs, rusted and faded, hinted at a past the world had left behind. Harper muttered something under her breath, still staring at her tablet. "This is weird," she said, tapping the screen. "This village, it isn't on any modern maps. It's like it doesn't exist." Shu zoomed in on a fragmented file she'd managed to dig up from some obscure local records. The only mention I can find is a single line, marking it as inactive. Inactive since when? And why? Her questions hung in the quiet air. They took the detour, leaving the familiar world behind. As they walked deeper, a strange quiet settled around them. The usual sounds of the countryside, the birds, the insects, the distant hum of traffic faded away, replaced by a profound silence, as if they had stepped into a different dimension. The light from the compass steadied, changing from a nervous pulse to a solid, unwavering glow. It felt, satisfied. It felt like it had brought them exactly where they needed to be. Eddie felt a shiver run down his spine, but it wasn't from fear. It was a sense of purpose, surreal. He realized this wasn't just about finding a hidden place. This overgrown, forgotten road was a test. It was asking them if they were truly willing to leave everything they knew behind, to trust the unknown over the familiar. It was a challenge to their courage, a question of their faith in this strange journey. They followed the path for what felt like hours, the silence pressing in on them. Then, the road curved sharply ahead and simply disappeared into a thick, swirling wall of fog. It wasn't natural fog. It was dense and white and completely opaque, like a curtain dropped between worlds. It seemed to have a life of its own, waiting for them. For the first time since they started, Harper finally looked up from her tablet. Her eyes, magnified by her red glasses, were wide. Shay stared into the impenetrable mist, a sense of awe and apprehension on her face. Her voice was barely a whisper when she spoke, but her words carried immense weight. "Eddie," she said softly, "whatever's in there. It wasn't lost by accident. It was hidden on purpose." As if in response to her words, the compass in Eddie's hand flared, its light suddenly growing intensely bright. 2. Illuminated their faces in the encroaching twilight, a beacon against the mysterious fog. The steady glow confirmed Harper's realization, sending a clear, unspoken message. This wasn't the end of their search. This was the real beginning. The real journey had only just begun. What lay beyond that wall of fog was the reason they were there, and stepping through it would change everything.